Hey, fifth grade, it's Miss Sublet, and I am here to teach lesson 4 of Second Steps. And as you know, we have been talking about goal setting, and today we are learning about reflecting on those goals, what worked and what didn't work. But first, we are going to do our brain builder activity, like always, and I will be right back.
It's time to build your brain, playing level 2 of Piece It Together. Here's how to play. You'll see pieces of a whole picture appear on screen, one at a time. When you put the pieces together, they make a picture of a house. Study each piece and remember its details. After you've seen each one, you'll be asked to choose the house that matches all the pieces put together correctly, like a puzzle. It's time to play. You've now seen each piece of the house. Take a few seconds to close your eyes and put them all together. Visualize what the entire house would look like with all the details that you remember from what you saw. Open your eyes. If you think the house on the left side matches the pieces put together correctly, raise your left hand. If you think the house on the right side matches the pieces put together correctly, raise your right hand. If you're raising your left hand, you're correct. All the details match the original pieces that you saw. Great work! Give yourself a pat on the back.
Okay, so that was a good brain builder activity. And let's get started with our lesson. All right. Let's see here. Over here. So, if you all remember, Nina and Zach set goals that they wanted to reach in 2 weeks. When the 2 weeks were over, they took some time to reflect on how it went by writing in their journals. So, did Nina and Zach reach their goals? What did they learn when they reflected on their goals? Why is it important to reflect after working toward a goal? I don't see their journal entries. Hold on, let's go back to this. Maybe it's on the student handout, and we will read it together. All right, so let's read their journal entries together. So Nina said, "Today I reached my goal. It took 3 weeks, but that's okay. What matters is that I kept going. One thing that worked was running a little farther each time. That was so much easier than trying to run the whole mile from the beginning. One thing that didn't work was running after dinner. It's too dark to run then. After school is better for me. Next time, I'll remember to take some break days. I try to run every day, and that was too much. My next goal is to run 2 miles without stopping." Okay. So before we read Zach's, let's go here and talk about these questions. Did Nina reach her goal? Yes, she reached her goal. So, yes, Nina reached her goal. What did they learn? Well, Nina learned that several things. She learned that trying to do it every day was too hard. It made her kind of want to give up because trying to do anything every day, especially like running, would be really, really hard. And so she learned that she needed to kind of take breaks. And she also learned that when the best time for her to run was after school wasn't working because it got dark. And then why is it important for Nina to reflect on her working toward her goal? Well, she learned a lot about herself. She learned a lot about making goals, and she also knows what to do for next time. So now let's talk about Zach. Zach has not reached his goal yet. And do you know what? It's not a big deal. I changed my plan and now I know how to finish my story. Mr. Patel said I can turn it in next week. One thing that worked was asking Mr. Patel for help. He gives great advice. One thing that did not work was listening to music while I write. It's too hard and too distracting for me. The next time I write a story, I'm going to write an outline first. Then I'll know the ending before I start writing. So let's go back to our document right here. So let's go over the same thing. Did he reach his goal? Not yet, but he's working on it. And he learned that asking for help is okay. Like try it yourself first, but then ask for help. And he also learned that if he writes an outline first, then he doesn't have to stop and try to think about what he's writing because he already knows the end to the story. And then he learned that listening to music was not a good thing for him. Some people can listen to music while they're working, and that's great, but it just didn't work out for Zach. And it was important for Zach, especially, to reflect because he's always going to have to write. Like, I don't know what grade he's in. I guess he's in 5th grade, like you all, but he's going to have to keep writing all the way through school. So it is good to reflect on those goals, and especially when you know that you're going to be doing it again. Let's continue. All right. So you all have been working on goals. Hopefully, you all have been working on your iReady goals. You've been working on outside activity goals, academic goals, whatever. So I want you all to reflect. Okay, I want you to reflect what works, what doesn't work, what can I do next time. Okay. Anytime you make a goal, you should reflect on how you're doing. See if there's anything you need to change. Okay. And if you're working with a partner, which I think I had you all do individual goals last time we talked about it. But if you were working with a partner, why does your goal change? Well, what your partner can do, maybe you're not as good at. Or maybe you split it up. Maybe you have a schedule and your partner works on this and you work on that. So you would have different goals, but you would have the same end goal in mind. You would have small goals, each of you, and then the same end goal in mind. But if you're working by yourself, for example, for iReady, you don't work with a partner. You just work with yourself. So obviously, you would make goals that are based around your grades, because if you're getting poor grades, then chances are you're not going to do very good on your iReady. So you would base your grades, like maybe your goal could be, I'm going to move my C up to an A, or I'm going to move my D up to a B before our next iReady diagnostic, and see how it goes from there. And then you would study. If that kind of studying wasn't working, you would reflect on that. Okay, that wasn't working, so let me try this. All right, so tracking your progress. What have you been learning about tracking your progress? I know that our goals are based off of tracking our progress, and we set goals based on how we are doing and what we think we can reach. Okay. So while you are working on your goal, Did you have to change your plan at all? Did you change your plan? Like, remember we talked about getting a bump in the road? Maybe you were quarantined. That's definitely a bump in the road and you miss a lot of instruction. Did you have to change your plan? So, what's one thing that has helped? I want you to write that down. One thing that you know helps. Like, if you know for sure that flashcards help you to learn your spelling words or whatever it is that you're working on, then I want you to write that down. Now is the time to learn good study skills. Okay, you need to learn how you study. What makes you meet your goals? What kind of studying? Are you a visual learner? Are you an auditory learner? Which I'm sure you all have went over those, but visual means that taking notes and writing things down and going back and reading it is probably good for you. That's probably something that is good. Flashcards, if you're a visual learner, is also very good. If you're an auditory learner, listening in class, okay, recording your teacher speaking and going back and listening to it is helpful. Or reading out loud, like maybe if you can't do that and you need to write notes, reading those notes out loud will help you to learn. Let's see. Tactile learner, that is a learner who does better working with their hands. For example, if you're learning spelling words, maybe putting those spelling words into a crossword puzzle and going through and doing the puzzle with your spelling words, that would be good for you because you're working with your hands. What advice would you give someone else who is trying to reach their goal? So, what did you learn and what do you think is helpful for somebody else? If your teacher has time, they can pause the video right now and you can talk with your shoulder partner about this. Give your shoulder partner some advice when reaching their goal. And then again, here's our reflection questions. What worked? What didn't work? What will you do better next time? Or what will you do next time? Okay, this is called reflection. This will help you meet your goals. And will help you become a better goal setter as well. Okay? But that is all I have for today. I want you all to make sure you are making goals. You are changing those goals if you need to. You are changing your plan if you need to. And you are reflecting. Okay? Make sure you're doing those 3 things and you will be set and you will be ready for 6th grade. I know. I don't want to talk about it either because I'm going to miss you guys, but you've got to get ready for 6th grade. And in 6th grade, all this stuff we're learning about goal setting, visual learning, auditory learning, all that stuff is going to be helpful. How do I study? That's going to be helpful because once you get to 6th grade, things get a little bit more serious. Like, not that 5th grade's not serious, but 6th grade, things get a little bit tougher. You have 5 teachers instead of 3 that you have to keep organized. Okay. And you have 6 or 7 classes depending on what the middle school's doing now. When I worked there, you had 6. So I don't know how many they have now, but sometimes 7, sometimes 5. So you have a lot to look forward to and you have a lot to learn. Okay. So just make sure you are following Miss Sublick's goal setting rules and you will be just fine. And I will see you guys back here for lesson 5. Bye. Have a great day.